speaker. So please welcome Alexis Ronsman.
Well, hi guys. I haven't done this in a long. I haven't done this in about a year. I decided to do something. You know, usually you bring all your like nicely typed sheets, a little pile, like with notes on which one you want to read. And instead, I just decided to go a little bit more messy and just bring a pile of journals with post-it notes in it. But I thought we could do kind of a chronological thing. But to warm me up, I wanted to bring, this is my favorite play, 10 points to anybody who's ever read Twelfth Night by Shakespeare. Anybody?
Yes.
Oh, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. Okay, good. This is my favorite play. So I'm going to do a couple of monologues and dialogues out of this to warm me up. I'm going to actually do the opening monologue by Duke Orsino. Since only a couple of you have read it, he's a big emo metrosexual in love with a Domley lady. Oh, hi.
Wow.
People I know, hi. Here, I'll do that. So this is Twelfth Night or What You Will. If music be the food of love, play on, give me excess of it. That appetite may sicken and so die. That strain again. It had a dying fall. Oh, it came over my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough, no more. 'Tis not so sweet as it was before. O spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that notwithstanding thy capacity receiveth as the sea, not enters there, of what validity and pitch soever, but falls into abatement and low price, even in a minute. So full of shapes is fancy, that it alone is high fantastical. That's the opener. Now, some of my stuff. This journal is from the 2009. It was before I was into dates and times and actually reporting things. It's a pretty crazy journal. It's got like random shit in it. So I was living in Bayview at the time. I can't remember either my boyfriend's about to move out or has moved out. Someone said breakup poem, and it's not exactly that. I'll read it, and you guys can tell me later on what it's about. There's a map beneath the skin of my belly, inside the bone cage that keeps my heart, my guts. Wax paper holds me together, gathers freckles like dust, and dark moles like cigarette burns. It tears easily, so that I can trace the roads with my fingertips, while I wait for the wax paper to heal. The rivers are either always blue, or until the sun shines, and the wind blows and they slip from the map red. I have seen blood drain off from the bone-white paper of my face. I have not seen where it led to. Oh, get another 12th night. Actually, fuck that one. This one instead. This one, and also, I don't know if you guys realize, the center of 12th Night is actually a woman who dresses like a man in order to woo the emo metrosexual whom she's decided will not be attracted to her if she's a woman. So those of you who know me are going to be like, oh, that's incredibly pertinent. Two people found that funny. But this is actually Viola's response to Duke's endless whining and pining. So this starts with the Duke and then goes to Viola. Yet thee to yon some sovereign cruelty, tell her, my love more noble than the world prizes not quantity of dirty lands. The part that fortune hath bestowed upon her, tell her, I hold as giddily as fortune. But 'tis that miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her in, attracts my soul. But if she cannot love you, sir, I cannot be so answered. Soothe, but you must. Say that some lady, as perhaps there is, hath for your love as great a pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her. You tell her so. Must you then not be answered? There is no woman's sides can bide the beating of so strong a passion as love doth give my heart. No woman's heart so big to hold so much. They lack retention. Alas, their love may be called appetite. No motion of the liver but the palate that suffers surfeit, cloyment, and revolt. But mine is all as hungry as the sea and can digest as much. Make no compare between that love a woman can bear me and that I owe Olivia. Viola, I know, you know what. Too well what love women to men may owe. In faith, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter loved a man, as it might be perhaps were I a woman, I should your lordship. What's her history? A blank, my lord. She never told her love, but let concealment like a worm in the bud feed on her damask cheek. She pined in thought, and with a green and yellow melancholy she sat like Patience on a monument, smiling at grief. Was this not love, indeed?
Green and yellow melancholy.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell where this is going. We're now going to go towards the end of 2010. So I fell madly in love with my best friend. That was a really bad idea. It's not even breakup poems, it's unrequited love poems. Tales old as time. I think art was probably invented just for people to vent about the people that don't love them back. But the next one I'm going to read is actually a sestina, which is for my dear friend Jamie Knight. I don't know if you guys know about sestinas, but there's 6 words that get repeated over and over. And then after this, we're going to go into the raunchier shit, which I'm a little intimidated to read tonight because my family is here. So I'm warming up with the real gentle Shakespearean shit, and then I'm going to start saying words like pussy and fuck, and I'm going to blush. So one last fancy schmancy shit, and we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of 2011. As the leaves die in electric red death, I play them, the Beatles. The summer becomes a short paragraph in history. The air is dry and poignant like gin. The whole world fills with clean limelight. Extravagant death paints the whole neighborhood. Trees purge themselves onto passing hipsters. And I get the honor of being the loneliest hipster. The naked branches tell me so as they listen to the Beatles. They have seen every scenester in the neighborhood, and I have the saddest pink eyes in this place's short history. They burn with a quarter century of limelight, and nothing can quench them, not even your gin. Given the chance, I'd still drink that gin, and we could look out the window and make fun of the hipsters. I would build a little house to live in your limelight. You would play records, and I'd just play the Beatles. We'd spill ink on the pages of our shared history, and you would be glad I moved into the neighborhood. And my beautiful acquaintances will save the neighborhood. They will drink beer and love your gin. They will gush with their ears full of our history. They will help us fill the books with the word hipster. We will eat communion and listen to the Beatles and tell stories in the fading limelight. Every morning we will fill our coffee cups with fresh limelight. We'll stumble blissful into the dim, gray neighborhood. The farmer's market will remind us of the Beatles, and our lips will touch and taste like gin. They'll smell our kisses and know we're hipsters. And we'll talk of the night before the long, gone history. Napkins and cell phones record the unraveling history. We find bruises and stains caused by the limelight, each one another merit badge for being hipsters. Which came first, the culture or the neighborhood? We don't ask questions, just quietly drink our gin and listen to our voices sing the Beatles. Wandering through Krishna's neighborhood in Jesus' soft limelight, you'll compete with John Lennon to be the biggest hipster, and I'll drink gin with Yoko Ono.
Oh.